So Nancy Pelosi says the Democrat Party will not seek impeachment proceedings against President Bush if the Democrats take control of the House and the Senate. Coming from a Democrat, that's a big if. Remember, Democrats seldom tell the electorate what they plan on doing after Election Day, because to do that would spell doom. Just ask Bill Clinton where that middle-class tax cut that got him elected president the first time went. The position Pelosi now takes can't be rubbing terrorists worldwide the right way. Their current strategy of ramping up murder in Iraq is working. Democrat pundits are using the deaths of American soldiers as a marketing tool to energize the liberal base and give them the reason to point their fingers at Republicans and scream, "See?" Liberals are now pulling out all the stops. The only way they can win next month is to blame the uptick in Iraqi violence on a failed military campaign. The only reason why it's failed is because our military has been forced to fight with their hands behind their backs. Let's not be taken out of context. War is hell, which is why it should only be used as a last resort. But when we do opt to send in the troops, it should be balls to the wall, kick ass, win the damn thing, and get out. But that's something we can't do anymore as a nation. We can't win. Winning is bad because in the liberal mind, that wouldn't be fair to the loser. So we go in, complete with embedded reporters that are there to supposedly report the goings-on, but in reality are there to document the atrocities of war, and only when we commit them. And if they can air some video of a courageous freedom fighter picking off one of our Marines, maybe it's worth a Pulitzer or two. While our domestic media focuses on the increase of roadside and homicide bombings, kidnappings, tortures, and executions by insurgents on Iraqis as an excuse to blame the whole thing on the liberation, they distort the reality here in the United States. How many Democrats are still using the phrases high gas prices, lack of jobs, and a war they now publicly declare unwinnable? Never mind the numerous letters from soldiers who want to go back and finish the job there because they see the good that's being done despite the violence that seeks to reach some November 7 crescendo. They assume the unwashed ignoramuses who vote haven't noticed the gas prices have dropped, and in some places the price is not seen in a couple of years. They blow off the fact that just about everyone who wants a job has one. Sure, a person who ducked school can't just walk in and make six figures, but the opportunity is there for those who want a paycheck. Here's where I challenge the liberal patriotism. Just what do you think is going through the mind of some Islamic nutcase with a bomb strapped on him or her, preparing to blow up people just minding their own business when they hear Keith Olbermann, Amy Goodman, Diane Sawyer, Anderson Cooper, or any attention-sucking politician say things are going so badly over there that we need to set a time when we can leave? Only a liberal bonehead would believe the media is acting on impartiality. Tell that to CNN and their group glee the newsroom must have experienced when they got hold of some video of one of our soldiers being picked off by a sniper. According to the American Spectator, CNN sent an email requesting some video from the terrorists. A CNN employee said, "We promised to give the terrorists a fair shake. I know that we are saying there was some soul searching here about running the tape, but I didn't see much of that. There were somber people here, but there were also a segment of people on staff once the tape had run and created a firestorm that celebrated. They thought they were so courageous." A former CNN news employee says that at the network there is a decidedly anti-war approach to what they do. It might not be so clear from some of our anchors, but there are people here who direct the news operation who are very comfortable giving aid and comfort to the enemy. The Election '06 Democrat game plan is to discourage conservative voters, and they know if they throw Mark Foley at us enough times, we'll just say to hell with it and stay home. As if when I was watching football yesterday, I was constantly thinking about Mark Foley. As if when some of you go to the supermarket and are checking the prices on cuts of meat, all you're thinking about is Mark Foley. And as if when you're at home, all you're thinking about is Mark Foley. That's kind of gross. You may consider those examples absurd, but that's what liberals think of us and those they service with selective reporting. Harry Reid corrected his accounting and reporting mistakes. Anyone think the Democrats would give Mark Foley a chance to hit the old delete button and get rid of those instant messages and emails? Doubt it. So the bottom line is this. The terrorists have made their intentions known. If they were in America bombing us, they'd also vote Democrat. The interests of the liberals here and al-Qaeda are virtually the same. Get out of Iraq. Forget about what happened to thousands of civilians in Vietnam after we succumbed to the pansy left and split. The mass slaughter would be on the liberal conscience, if they had one. Instead, it's all about what they want and demand by any means necessary. If we pull out and hundreds of thousands of Iraqis who helped Americans die, that's okay, as long as liberals can chant, "Not in my name." Liberals expect Republicans to stay home because they tell us to. And for every conservative that stays home on Election Day, that's essentially a vote for a terrorist. That vote means a bullet in the back of the head of a kidnapped victim, or an American soldier incinerated in a transport after hitting an improvised explosive device. If we stay home and not vote, al-Qaeda, the Democrats, and their media accomplices will take control of the House and Senate. President Bush will be impeached, and maybe even sent to The Hague to face trial for trumped-up war crimes. The ACLU will represent terrorist victims of American aggression. Cindy Sheehan will eventually win a Nobel Peace Prize. And the New York Times will receive more Pulitzers for tipping off our enemy. And North Korea and Iraq will sign treaties with the United Nations, promising not to make nukes. And if they break them, they'll remind the Democrats who voted them in power in the first place, and how easily it would be to have them and their families removed permanently.